how's the feel been amongst the group after a massive win?
No, very similar. We try and stay level, win or lose. So, just focused on our review, did a sharp review, identical to the week before. And, look forward to our training session today. So, got through unscathed.
When do you start talking finals, or have you mentioned finals yet? I know coaches and players are always hesitant.
I know they talk about footballers' IQ and we're not that smart and coaches, but it's on the table from the start of the year. That's the aim. So it's up in lights. It's aspirational, and so players are aware it's possible. So, but talking about it doesn't get it done. So, it's just about focusing on this game in St Kilda.
Tell us about St Kilda and your approach. Do you get anyone back, or are you pretty happy with the performance on the weekend?
No, I don't think we're getting back. There's some really good performances at Peel, so we'll dissect that. And we seem to have got through unscathed. So Luke Ryan and Nathan Wilson are pushing for this week, and if it's not this week, hopefully it'll be the week after.
Given the performances of Bailey Banfield and Mitch Croden, do you stick in with those guys for the last few games, whatever's left of the season, back them in and see what they can produce?
Well, you pick yourself, really. So they clearly played well and picked themselves. So all of us are only, as we're aware, your last performance doesn't dictate your next. So, we just focus on our next performance.
Is there room for sentiment still in footy, though, for players perhaps like Hayden Valentine? Would you bring him back for a home game and say goodbye?
Well, it's nothing I've discussed with Hayden. I haven't had those discussions. And what Hayden's doing with his career. At this stage, I'm just his coach and coaching him. That's where it sits there.
Rory Lobb, coach, he's out for the season. They had surgery, I think.
Yeah, we had surgery Monday night.
And what sort of decision was that? Was that just based on? Sorry, was that based on the injury, or that? What considerations went into it?
I think just a normal process. It's a recommendation of our doctors and in consultation with the surgeon whether he needs surgery or not. So they elected that he needed surgery.
Does that mean he hurt himself again, or was that the original?
I got no idea, to be honest. Yeah.
When you look at the big stocks that are out injured for the year, what goes through your mind? It must be unbelievable.
Well, I can't dwell on it. It's a lot of them are impact injuries, so and quite unique and reoccurrences of maybe what existed either pre-getting here, clearly with Jesse with the navicular. And some of them are fractures, so it's not something I dwell on, and it's not something try and control what you can control. So, but it's frustrating because our ideal structure is with the talls. So we've been trying to adapt. We've had a win with the talls and we've had a win with the smalls. So, but our midfield played really well on the weekend, so it really gave the other divisions a chance to succeed.
Has it helped to identify some players that could be playing different roles? Ethan Hughes, we saw on the weekend, was playing on some of the bigger Geelong forwards and did a pretty good job. I mean, does it give you some scope for some future prospects? Yeah,
look, he's a really good story of growth, isn't he? He was a rookie list player that didn't start playing footy till he was 16. So every year he's just edged forward and got better, but he's applied himself incredibly well. And that was probably one of his remaining areas of, playing on the tall. So, yeah, he really stepped up into that role.
Played that small forward line. You've been a little creative over the last few weeks with, I think you mentioned before, the talls and the forward line several weeks ago and then the smalls. How do you sort of look to this weekend? It was so successful last weekend. Do you just do it again, or does it depend on the team? Is it horses?
Yeah, well, we're doing opposition with Lee Montagna and our football analysts in the back room, so we need to look at St Kilda and then from there make a decision on how we go. But there's some good performances at Peel that we look at. Huey Dixon's really starting to push up. Valentine played well. Sam Sturt's really, as a first-year player, starting to come to hand. And he's one of those taller 189 marking ground level players. So, if they continue to grow, but we need to look at it really. And Eddie had, Marvel now, under the roof, it's a quick stadium, drier, so, might be a bit more challenging for the talls.
Has it been a bit more challenging? You've got all those injuries now. Have you had to be a little more creative than normal?
In regard to...
just in terms of your setup, in particular the forward line, it has been unusual when you did have Lobb, Darcy and Sandy, and then on the weekend I think there was one stage where I think Monday was the...
But I suppose it's it's debatable, isn't it? Rory Lobb, everyone sees him as a key forward. We pick him as a key forward, and you play 2 ruckmen, which a number of teams do, and the reigning premier does, and continue to do. So it's not that unusual. I think when it goes south, it's unusual and criticised. So, but that's what we open ourselves up for. But you're right, we need to try and find solutions. But as always, it's the fundamentals: winning the contested ball. We've been a good contested ball team all year, but over Bulldogs it was minus 30. So. We felt it was an outlier. There was regression to the mean on the weekend, which is our body of work for the year in that space has been really strong. So we feel we regressed to our mean, which is strong contested ball. We needed to make Western Bulldogs an outlier, and we did that.
Is Cam McCarthy any chance of coming in this week?
Yeah, he certainly played well. He kicked 2 goals and had a number of possessions, so that was pleasing.
Do you think he could be the key forward that you need to finish off this year strong?
Yeah, it could be.
And as far as Brad Hill, there's a bit of talk about potential for him to leave next year back to Melbourne. If he were to come with you, would you work with a player like that to try and get to Victoria if that was the best?
Yeah, well, I'm head of coach. Brad's playing super football. He spent 20 minutes every Monday he comes in. We have a strong working relationship and respectful on both sides. So I can only coach. I'm here to coach him. You're talking hypotheticals, and it's not my job. It's not a club position. We have empathy. I was asked, do you sympathise? It's not about sympathy and feeling sorry for someone. We empathise and try and put ourselves in all our players' shoes. But at the end of the day, we've got list managers and football subcommittees that get to work on those type of situations when they arise. So I'm sure we'll deal with the situation when it arises.
What can you do to convince him to stay? Because obviously it seems like he loves the club, but the girlfriend factor.
Yeah, well, I'm not here in this forum. We certainly don't dive in deep. We'll just keep it fingernail deep as usual, and that will suit us all. So it's not something I'm really reflecting on St Kilda and trying to prepare. So we'll leave the deep and meaningfuls to later, really.
Has he told you, Ross, that he wants to head off because of the girlfriend situation?
Me personally? Yeah, so I have private conversations with all my players, and a lot of them are really confidential, and I'm not prepared to share any of my private conversations with players because I don't think it's appropriate.
Ross, the Ed Langdon situation, he doesn't have a contract. How do you see that playing out? Do you expect to lose him?
Geez, you're all light and roses today, guys. So, as I said, I'm really here to talk about the St Kilda game. We can do our list management meeting. It's really difficult. Again, it's not I don't offer contracts. I don't know where people sit. I'm hardly aware who's out of contract unless I make it a real focus. I know we've signed a number of players. Ed is one of our developed young players, has come through, and he's played super on the weekends. So I'd be optimistic that we could re-sign Ed. But again, I'll leave it to Peter Bell and his list management team because that's their job. I say get the players signed. So hopefully Peter can do some media and you can ask him because it's exhausting.
Ross, you mentioned Hugh Dixon's name earlier. Is he a genuine chance through the group?
Yeah, he's been improving. Yeah, he'd been up and down his preparation over the year, but he sort of focused himself and got moving. Probably missed an opportunity, but he's starting to come to hand. He's had a few injuries, so his football ability is not doubted. He can really play the game, and he's a young tall that's building his body. It's really a tough game, the AFL. So he's come to hand and playing some good football. So, yeah, it's nice that he's putting his hand up.
Do you think you were a bit of ruck in the waffle because you were down on numbers? Yeah. Has he gone back forward in recent weeks?
Yeah, he has. Yeah, he played full back for a while because I was so short there. But that was good because it sort of got him into competition mode. There's a Players' Award when he went into the ruck for, the team aspect and playing a role that's probably a bit out of your comfort zone. He did that, so that was really pleasing, and he's gone back forward. And I think they had a lot of shots on the weekend, they just didn't quite nail them. So, yeah, hopefully there's a positive story there.
Do you think you'll use David Mundy to lead the forward line again with his experience and whatnot?
Well, yeah, those blokes tell me where they want to play. You'll say, Ross, it's midfield this week or forward. But, look, he was critical with his leadership. And as you guys said, last week it was Fife, this week it was Mundy. Last week it was Monday. Is this week going to be Walters there or Brayshaw? So that flexibility's been good for us all.
And in terms of the sacrifice, you touched on it a bit after the game, but for a player to be stationed there when perhaps the supply's not going their way, can you just expand on that a bit, especially for the senior guys like Fife?
Yeah, well, when you've been a midfielder, you always want to run around and get touches. It's easy to get a kick. And David was leading and working really hard, but the ball hadn't really come his way. And we did discuss it in the box. Look, he's up our sleeve in the midfield. Do we work him in? And Anthony Rock was super. He said, no, midfield's going well. Him and Dave, hey, let's keep him forward. I was like, yep, no problem. And then he kept working hard and he duly delivered, you know. So that was really pleasing for the team and David, you know.